Welcome to Unleashed Podcast, where all are welcome. Now, here is your host, Pup Twigs.
Hey everyone, Pup Twigs here, another edition of Unleashed. And joining me all the way from Texas is Rusk. How are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Aw- Awesome, glad to hear it. Well, I just want to find out, we'll learn a little bit about you. So, first thing, can you share a little about your journey and what being part of the LGBTQIA community means to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a really small town, very conservative Christian town. My father was a pastor. My mother was a preschool teacher. So I really had a rough early start and really had to kind of find my own way with that.
Mm-hmm.
Really faced a lot of difficulties through that. Didn't really find a community early on. I was in hiding, as so many
Sure.
of us are. My journey started out being in the closet and being terrified that if people found out, if my family found out that I was gay, that um, that they would disown me or I'd end up on the street or that they wouldn't love me anymore.
Yeah.
Um, and over the years, I found my own place. I found my place in the world and my place with myself.
Good.
And I think that's been the biggest part of my journey is my journey with myself
Mm-hmm.
and finding a home in myself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to find that place that makes you happy.
Yeah, thank you. It was hard. I was bullied terribly in school. I think the kids knew that I was gay. They picked up on it as kids often do.
Yeah.
So I was struggling with thoughts of suicide, fell
Yeah.
into drug addiction. Um, had a really rough go of it there for a while, to be honest. And so that community to me has really been, less about the labels and more about finding those places where my nervous system can stop bracing itself and I can feel safe.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad you made it through that rough time and you are where you are today. So good.
Thank you.
Well, if you could leave our listeners with, one message about, love, acceptance, or just being true to yourself, what message would you want to leave them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when it comes to love, living as your truest self, I've found really is not an act of a rebellion. It's an act of alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And you deserve to live in alignment, not an apology.
That's right.
So love yourself enough to grow, love yourself enough to challenge yourself, and recognize that if someone wants to love you, they will. Love
Yeah.
is in action and it's a choice.
Yes. Yeah. Couldn't said that any better. But well, what advice would you give someone who is just starting to embrace their identity or their authentic self?
Yeah. Well, congratulations and keep going. Don't ever stop.
Yeah.
It is a lifelong journey. It really is. And take your time with it.
Hmm.
Really listen to yourself. There's a lot of people out there that are going to be excited for you. There's a lot of people out there that aren't going to like what you're doing. And I think on both sides of that fence, the important part is really to take whatever time you need. So whatever pace you're moving at, whatever you're comfortable with, listen to that. Listen to your gut instincts. Um, don't let people rush you. Don't let people convince you to put yourself in situations that you find uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Life has everything in the world to offer to you, and it's there whenever you want to take it. You're not going to miss out on anything. And I think it's important to be intentional about the journey. to slow down enough to really reflect and to approach it with intention.
Yes, yes. So I don't know how many, pride events or any kind of events that happens within our community you have got to attend. But if you have, what has been your favorite memory of one of the events that you've attended?
Yeah, I have. So I have two memories come to mind.
Okay.
One is in 2023, I got to dance for Dallas Pride, and that was so much fun. What made it extra special for me was going through the publications that came out, the local magazines after that. And
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that someone had taken a picture of me. And it was me in my pup mask. I have a tattoo on my back that says bro, that represents brotherhood.
Uh-huh.
And I saw that picture in the magazine and I just lit up. It was such an interesting thing, because so much of my life I've felt invisible or like
Yes.
I was too much or not enough. And so to have this moment where completely unknown to me, that this beautiful, amazing photo was taken and shared just really touched my heart.
Oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, thank you. And then the other experience was this last year here in Dallas. I got to walk in Pride with the Lost Souls rugby team that I'm a part of.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and that family they're such great people. It's such a wonderful group of human beings. And so to be able to walk with them in Pride really meant the world to me.
Oh, both of those are great. So yeah, be proud of that.
Yeah.
So what misconceptions about, our community do you wish more people understood?
Mm. That's an interesting question. I think I've spent a lot of my life asking myself similar questions to that. I remember, growing up very religious as I did when I did start to come out, really trying to educate people that had questions or that, had a lot of negative opinions on things.
Hmm.
And I guess at one point I kind of arrived at the opinion, I'll say, that I don't know if there really are that many misconceptions out there. And
Okay.
I'll qualify that statement. What I mean by that is I think a misconception is a misunderstanding due to faulty thinking or understanding, right? That's
Hmm.
the working definition that I go by. And I think a lot of the things that we as a community face out there, it's because people don't want to understand.
Yeah.
If you look at the people in the community that step up and they go to um, the hearings, the meetings, the legislature that's going on, or
Hmm.
you walk up to someone at a pride event, the people with pickets and angry signs. If they walk up to someone and ask a question, I think most of us are really able to speak very clearly on things and talk about how, we're coming at things from a place of love or, love for community, love for ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we're really able to speak on point to things. And so it's really been sad for me and very difficult for me that we continue in 2026 as we head into the new year,
Hmm.
that as a society that we still face so many of these issues because I don't think it's a lack of understanding anymore. I don't think it's a misconception of like, oh, if people just knew this, things would be different. I
Right.
think there are people out there that are seeking that understanding, and I think it's important to continue to welcome that in. But I also think it's important to remind ourselves that a lot of what we're facing is people that just don't want to understand. And that responsibility does not lie with us, it lies with them.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed with you. Well, this question I always like to hear the answer to and everything, but if you could instantly master just one talent, what would you want to master?
I think it would be singing.
Yes.
I have always connected with music,
Mm-hmm.
and the ways that people are able to express themselves, the emotions that they're able to elicit out of other people and in other people through their voice. It just I think there are few things in the world as beautiful and amazing as that. And I am
Okay.
not a good singer. I've tried. I was in choir in high school. I can't carry a tune with a bucket and handles on it.
Okay.
So
I'm the same way. Well, in all this time that you have been in this community, what has been one of your proudest moments? And it could be one we've already talked about, but what has been your proudest moment so far?
yeah, I think it's a small collection of them. One of the thing that gives me the most pride is there's a local bar here, the Hidden
Hmm.
Door, and I love that place. I cannot say enough good things about the Hidden Door. And it's there that I have found that people will pull me aside privately, one on one. And as time has gone on, people have done that and told me, hey, you know what? Something you said really impacted me, or I really learned something, whether that be about mental health or disabilities or equality or consent,
Hmm.
which is, are all things that I'm passionate about and I talk about a lot. And that has been what I've been most proud of, is to see that, sometimes we don't always get the interactions that we wish we did, or the number of likes or comments on a post. And
Yes.
it's easy to think that, oh man, I'm not having an impact, or my voice isn't reaching people. And so to have those experiences, to see, oh, it really does. And maybe these people aren't comfortable commenting on Facebook, but it meant enough of them to want to pull me aside and to say, hey, something you did made a difference in my life. That has been what's given me the most pride.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Well, who have has out there that was your first celebrity crush?
Mm. Yeah. I so growing up as I did, we really weren't allowed to watch much TV or anything. So I don't know if it counts as a celebrity, but I remember in the Street Fighter games there was Zangief, and I
Oh,
think that was my first crush.
okay, and that's whatever qualifies. I mean, we'll take it and stuff. But yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
perfectly fine. Well, to kind of sum up everything, what does community look like and mean to you?
yeah. Hmm. I guess for me, community, it's not necessarily the crowd. It's finding those places like the hidden door and
Hmm.
the people, the individuals that make up the community, that let me exist without having to filter myself or shrink myself or feel like I'm too much.
Yes.
It's those places where I don't have to translate myself, that I'm just accepted, you know, in progress, human, stumbling. I get things wrong all the time. I put my foot in my mouth all the time. And so that community is just, it's that love, it's the grace by which we go through the way.
Okay. And I can take that. Yeah, community basically is allowing you to live your authentic self the way you want to live it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
as that changes, as it develops, as I continue to find new pieces of that or new interpretations of that. The person I am this year is very different than the person I was 3 years ago. It's ever shifting and changing. And so to have that fluidity about things and to have that embrace, community is really that embrace. I think you said it really well, to be authentic and to have that be celebrated.
yeah, because we're always growing. So what we look like this year may not be what we look like next year.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier about, the dream of being able to sing. You know,
Mm.
with that in mind, what is your go-to hype song? What song just hits differently than any other song does for you?
Mm. I think I have to say Shelter by Porter Robinson.
Okay.
Um, that song means so much to me in so many different ways. It's my love of anime, it's my love of electronic music. The messaging, the lyrics, the video to that song are all incredibly powerful to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to honor it because I actually did get a tattoo on my shoulder here that says Shelter in honor of that song.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, last question, and I just want to, who is your ultimate icon or role model? And it doesn't have to be a celebrity, it can be, but just who's your role model that you like out there?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a single one. You know, I've really gained some wisdom throughout the years I've spent on this earth,
Mm-hmm.
and I really see everyone around me that way. You know, all of those people that are living with HIV are trans brothers and sisters.
Yes.
The the person that's out there, the bootlegs, the pups, because everyone really has something to offer. And I think anyone that goes out there and lives with love and authenticity and has the courage to really show up as themselves and face whatever it is that the world is bringing their way. That to me, I can't think of a better role model than that.
Awesome. Well, I would definitely agree with you on that. Well, in case someone wants to reach out to you, how is the best way for them getting in touch?
Yeah, so I do need to brush up on my socials a little bit, but they can find me on Facebook, and that is my full name on Facebook. So um, that is facebook.com/Seth, Seth .Petrovitz, Petreviccs. And that's
Okay.
really where I spend most of my time if people are looking to connect. And I would love to. Please say hello. I love meeting new people, making new friends. So
Okay, awesome. Well, any last words before we get off of here?
yeah, just love yourself and love each other. And if I can share one other piece of wisdom as we're all going through life together and facing everything that the world brings us, I think I said it earlier, but I spent a lot of time thinking that if I could just get people or the world to understand that they might care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the truth of it really is when people care, they want to understand. So find those people that care about you and want to understand you, and you'll do just fine.
Yeah, yeah, you're exactly right. So, well, it has been awesome getting to learn a little bit about you, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know you and I will be talking again real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for
All
having me.
right, bye.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time, keep wagging, keep shining, and stay unleashed.